Welcome back to the Casual Game Hobbyist here with Game 10 of Nebraska's 2025 season. We're following offensive coordinator Coach Nathan Moore in his first season as the Nebraska offensive coordinator. And we're here in Pasadena, California at the Rose Bowl to take on the Bruins of UCLA. Here we see the teams run out. UCLA first, followed by our Nebraska Cornhuskers. Nebraska is undefeated, 9-0, fourth ranked in the college football poll, taking on UCLA, who's ranked 20th. But before we get to the game, let's take a look at how we got here and take a quick look at our win last week. How we got to 9-0, we defeated USC 31-20. They were also ranked number 20, so taking on the 20-ranked team in back-to-back weeks. And in between the weeks, picked up a couple of commitments from two stars. As we take a look at the recruiting rankings thus far, we are ranked 5th. We were ranked 5th last week, so holding steady there, even with only 6 4-stars. We're in there with the big boys: Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Notre Dame, Ohio State. So recruiting is going well. The future of Nebraska looks bright. But will Coach Nathan Moore be at Nebraska next year? Probably not. He wants to be a head coach, so let's take a look at who's on the hot seat. Again, Alabama, Michigan, Florida, Oklahoma. Some big name jobs might open up after this season. And the latest from the college football poll has Texas 1, Miami 2, Georgia 3, and our Nebraska Cornhuskers number 4. So we are in a good spot when it comes to the playoff. And for the race for the Big Ten, we are still undefeated in the conference, 6-0, with Wisconsin being 5-0. And Emmett Johnson is still holding on to that 5th spot in the Heisman Trophy race. A look at our schedule. Beat USC last week. They dropped to number 25, taking on 20th ranked UCLA this week at UCLA in Pasadena, California. So let's take a look at our opponent. They're actually scoring more points per game than we are this year. They're averaging more yards per game than our offense is this year. So our defense is going to have to come up big this week. Defensively, they're in the middle of the Big Ten, giving up 25.8 points per game and giving up just over 400 yards per game. So should be a shootout this week. So let's get back to the game. Team's running out again. Again, the 20th ranked Bruins of UCLA against the 4th ranked Cornhuskers of Nebraska. So the coin toss has commenced. UCLA got the ball first. They drove down the field, scored, so it's going to be UCLA 7, Nebraska 0 as Nebraska offense takes over from 25. 9.5-yard run from the fullback Luke Lindenmeyer makes it 2nd in inches. And a nice little QB keeper on the counter. Dylan Raiola picks up the first down, 1st and 10 Nebraska. There's our Heisman Trophy contender, Emmett Johnson. His first carry of the game, picks up a yard. Makes it a 2nd and 9. Raiola rolls out to the left, finds his receiver on the out route, picks up 10 yards and the first down. So 1st and 10 Nebraska from the 46. Johnson with the ball up the middle. Moderate gain, picks up 3. Speed option out to the right. Raiola pitches it out to Emmett Johnson, who tries to turn the corner and picks up 5. Can't get the first down. Brings up first 3rd down for Nebraska. 3rd and 2. Motion to the left. Tight end cuts back across the formation to make a big block that frees Emmett Johnson to pick up the first down. And last game against USC, 119 yards on 13 attempts, 2 touchdowns. A big game. Big game for our halfback. So we are on the right side of the 50 here on 1st and 10. The pitch out to Quentin Ives. He picks up the first down, and Moore picks up about 17. So Nebraska here in the red zone. A give to Lindenmeyer up the middle. Picks up 10. He's got 20 yards on 2 rushes. He's having a good game so far. We're going to have to feed him the ball more. Raiola drops back rolls out to his right, finds a receiver open in the end zone. Good touch on that ball. Good extension from the receiver. Good catch. Touchdown, Nebraska. It's going to make it Nebraska 6, UCLA 7. And let's take another look at that catch. Good touch on the ball from Raiola. Good extension to lay out there to catch the ball. Gets himself inbounds in the end zone, and it's a touchdown. So Nebraska offense takes over again, 7-7. No gain, and Emmett Johnson picked up an injury on that play, so we're going to have to keep an eye on him. Raiola rolls out after play action on the right, just decides to take it himself, picks up 10 in the first down. And as the first quarter winds down here, let's see, Nebraska does get another play off, gives it to Ives up the middle. Not much there. 3 yards, and that takes us to the end of the first quarter. UCLA 7, Nebraska 7. And UCLA is getting it done through the air. Nebraska is getting it done on the ground. So with the score of 7-7, we are going to flip over to the second quarter, where Nebraska has a 2nd and 7. Quarterback drops back, looking for his receiver out to the left. A nice little comeback route to Dane Key, who picks up the first down and picks up an injury, but isn't too injured to celebrate that big pitch and catch. So first down from the 41. Fake the handoff to the nope. He gives it to Quinn Ives, who takes it to the right for no gain. Still at the 41, 2nd down. Triple option again, and just Raiola cannot hang on to the ball. So we take a look at the college football playoff bracket. Nebraska sitting in that 4th spot. Currently has a bye if the playoff were to start today, and would take on the winner of Clemson and Buffalo. Surprise college football playoff participant Buffalo, but playoff doesn't start today. Still a couple weeks left in the season. Raiola with the play action drops back, gets sacked, and 4th and 22. Nebraska's going to go ahead and punt the ball, get it inside the 20. UCLA started the drive at the 18, could not score. Punts, Nebraska gets the ball back on their own 22. Run out to the right for 1 yard. The chunk plays have been hard to come by so far in this game. There's Quinn Ives, takes the ball to the left, picks up 4. It doesn't help that Emmett Johnson picked up an injury, and there is Emmett Johnson, the #1 rusher for this season. Beat out Kanye Udo by about 15 yards, I think it was, if I remember correctly so far. Nice drag route, nice pass, nice catch, first down, Nebraska, 1st and 10 from their own 37. Speed option out to the left, pitch out to Quinn Ives. Not anything there. Only a yard for Ives. Lindemeyer had a couple big runs in the first quarter and underutilized so far here in the second. Gets the ball, immediately picks up 7 yards. Makes it 3rd and short. Let's give it to him again to pick up the first down. He's such a hard runner. What a great conversion from tight end to fullback. And it has really sprung this offense and energized this offense. Nice pitch out to the right for one of our freshman running backs. Picks up the first down. And all of a sudden, it's 1st and 10, and Nebraska is knocking on that red zone again. 9-yard run from Lindemeyer makes it 2nd and 1 from the 25. Fake to Lindemeyer, pitch out to the left. Ives narrowly avoids getting tackled for a loss. Does pick up 5 yards in the first down. This will be 1st and 10 from the 20. UCLA brings the blitz. Raiola tries to get it out to his back on a little Texas route. Can't come up with the ball. Makes it 2nd and 10. UCLA brings another blitz. Raiola identifies it, finds Dane Key running the slant, and in man-on-man coverage, he beats his man, makes the catch, and scores a touchdown. Makes it Nebraska 13, UCLA 7. Good recognition of the blitz by Raiola. Good route from Key. Makes it a 14-7 game, but Nebraska gets the ball back. Scores, makes it 14-14, so with a minute 34 left here in the first half, Nebraska will take Back over, trying to put some points up on the board and try to get it all there. Try to get 7 points there, one play. Incomplete pass deep. Underneath pass for 2 yards. As the clock ticks down to 1:15, Nebraska will snap it on 3rd and 8, run a halfback screen to Ives, who picks up 8 yards and the first down. Running a little hurry up here. Still have a chance with 2 timeouts to put some points on the board. Another underneath route as the clock ticks under 1 minute. 2nd and 5. Still plenty of time for Nebraska to go out there and do. Oh, no. Oh, no. That is an interception. Not a good pass. Good play by the defender to pick off that ball. And UCLA somehow doesn't score. Nebraska's defense comes up big, gets a turnover. And so we'll just run the clock out here on the first half, not taking another risk. And as we come to halftime, it's Nebraska 14, UCLA 14. Let's take a look at the Nebraska offense. 119 yards rushing, 83 yards passing, averaging just under 6 yards per play. 14 first downs, 14 points in the first half, but not enough to differentiate ourselves from UCLA here, who also scored 14. And so we'll enter the third quarter tied at 14. UCLA took the ball to start the game. So Nebraska here, the offense will get the ball to start the second half. And one play, it's going to be a home run play. Look at this. Touchdown Nebraska on I think it was a 75-yard run. Speed option. Raiola makes the pitch. And the Nebraska halfback takes it to the house down the sideline. That is how you want to start the second half. Jamarian Parker with a big touchdown puts Nebraska up 7. Nebraska 21, UCLA 14. Nebraska will take the ball over again with that score. Up 7. A run for 3 yards makes it 2nd and 7. Fake to Lindenmeyer. It's a QB keeper. And he made the right decision, but the defense just made a better play. No gain. Makes it a 3rd and 7. So Nebraska here from the power I. Flips it out to the backup fullback, who picks up a first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 35. Good blocking, good run by Quentin Ives to follow his blockers and hit the hole. Picks up 11 and a first down. Triple option, fake it off to the right. Raiola keeps it for only a yard. You know, outside of that big run to start the second half, UCLA has done a pretty good job of limiting the big plays. It's a 4-yard gain there, 3rd and 5. Nothing doing. Another dangerous pass there as the cornerback was draped all over our receiver. Luckily, it was only an incomplete, not an interception. And we get the chance to punt on 4th down. Flip the field a bit. Regardless, UCLA puts 7 on the board to tie up the game again, 21-21. This is an exciting one. As we're starting to, as the third quarter is winding down, we're about to get into the fourth quarter. This has been quite the back and forth game. A lot of points, maybe not as many as we thought it would be in a shootout, but still a lot of points. And we enter the fourth, tied at 21. Both teams scoring 7 points in the third quarter. As we take a look at the college football playoff top 25, Nebraska sitting there at number 4. Good position to be in so far. So, 1 quarter to go. Somebody's got to win the game. 2nd and 3. Motion out to the left. Our Heisman candidate, Emmett Johnson, back in the game. He immediately picks up 6 yards and a first down. And we take a look at his averages, 20 carries and 133 yards and a touchdown. And today, he's been out for 2 quarters. He's only got 30 yards on 7 touches. So if he's feeling okay, we're going to lean on him heavily here in the fourth quarter. And there's the pitch to said Emmett Johnson. Picks up 4, makes it 2nd and 6. QB keeper out to the left. Big run for Raiola. Follows his blockers. Picks up a ton of yards and a first down, and he is pumped. He is going to give that first down gesture and do a dance. 1st and 10, Nebraska in the wing bone. Run a counter option, fake it to Lindenmeyer. Raiola goes out to the left, pitches it to Emmett Johnson, who picks up 5. With 7:40 left here in the game, Raiola will pass out to the left. We'll lose a yard on that play. Run another pitch option that worked so well to start the half. Let's see what we can get here. Nothing there, and so on 4th and 3, field goal team comes out, and the field goal is good, but we have a flag on the play, and it looks like that special teamser made a grave error, roughing the kicker. Or was it running into the kicker? Doesn't matter. It was roughing. It's a first down. Nebraska. That gets us into the red zone. Takes 3 points off the board, but gives us a chance to put up 7. And what was that? Should have just taken the dang 3 points. Interception / fumble. We'll see how the stat gurus list that, but either way, it was a turnover from Nebraska, and UCLA gets 7 points off that turnover and takes the lead with just under 4 minutes left in the game. So Raiola needs to go down the field and tie this game up. That's a pretty good start. 2 plays, a first down, a bunch of yards, so 1st and 10 from the 44. Motion to the left, pitch out to our receiver. Gets a yard. The clock ticks under 3 minutes. 2nd and 9. Drag route's going to pick up the first down, get us on the right side of the 50, and we are in the hurry up here as time continues to wind away. Emmett Johnson open in the flat. We're just taking what the defense gives us right now. Plenty of time, no need to take any shots. So 2nd and 7. Usually you want your running back to run away from defenders. For some reason, we ran right into them there. Picks up 3 still, 3rd and 4. Comeback route for Dane Key. It worked in the first half. Nothing here. Just Raiola and Key not on the same page. Brings up a big 4th down. Find our tight end underneath for 1st down. Brings us to the 2-minute timeout. So 1st and 10 here, 2 minutes to go from the 30. Raiola rolls out to the right. Maybe had a receiver open. Decides to just take it himself. Play it safe. Pick up 6 yards. And so on 2nd and 4, try to give it to Lindenmeyer, who only picks up 1. So probably going to the air here on 3rd and 3. Out route from our tight end. Picks up the 1st. We're going to run a pitch option out here to the right. Gets it out to Johnson. Can't make the cornerback miss. Not a great block from our receiver out to the left. Still a positive gain. We get 3 yards. So 2nd and 7. The snap from the 9. Another dangerous pitch from Raiola. We're lucky that wasn't fumble or didn't get picked off. Again from the 9. 3rd and 6. Oh, risky pass over the middle, and Emmett Johnson makes an athletic, ridiculous catch and somehow gets into the end zone. It's going to tie this game up at 28. Let's take another look at this catch. It was not a advised throw, very ill-advised, but Emmett Johnson leaps up, makes an athletic catch, sacrifices the body, gets into the end zone, and that's going to take us to overtime. And so in overtime, the Nebraska offense takes the ball first. Big run from Lindenmeyer up the middle, then takes it out to the left. Gain of 20. This will be 1st and goal from the 5 for Nebraska here in the tight flex bone. Picks up 3. So 1st and goal from the 2. Roll out for Raiola and touchdown. So in the first overtime period, Nebraska scores a touchdown. Going to kick the extra point. That's going to make it Nebraska 35, UCLA 28. But UCLA is not to be denied. They scored 2 touchdowns, one in the first overtime, one in the second overtime. But they went for 2, did not get it. Makes it 41-35 UCLA in the second overtime period here. Run from Raiola. Run from Lindenmeyer, picks up 1. Pitch out to Ives to the left. Big gain. Picks up 20 yards, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 4. And Nebraska runs a little bit of hurry up to try to trick the defense, and it works. Lindenmeyer almost untouched as he gets into the end zone. Touchdown. Nebraska makes it 41-41. And all that is left is a successful 2-point try. And that's going to give Nebraska the win. So the final in this one, Nebraska 43, UCLA 41. It did turn into a bit of a shootout. The fourth-ranked Cornhuskers escape Pasadena with the win. Their undefeated season continues. Player of the game, Nico Maliava. Big game through the air. Not a good passing or completion percentage, but well north of 300 yards for him. But Raiola and the Nebraska Cornhuskers come away with the win. Their undefeated season continues. Their march to the college football playoff continues. They're just loving it, enjoying the ride so far. Hey, if you enjoyed this and want to see the rest of Nebraska